We are working breaking news in the corruption case of former Fall River Mayor Jasiel Correia. A judge has tossed 8 wire and tax fraud counts in his case. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. The ruling comes during what was supposed to be his sentencing hearing 4 months after he was convicted of 21 counts.
Target 12 investigator STEPH MACHADO joins us now live outside a federal court in Boston. We have the breaking details on the judge's decision and when Correia could finally be sentenced. Steph?
Guys, this was just a stunning reversal by the judge of some of the jury's verdicts in this case related to the snow owl fraud. The judge did make it clear, though, that he won't be overturning the jury's determination that Correia shook down marijuana vendors while he was mayor. Now, the former mayor, Jasiel Correia, came to court this morning thinking he was about to be sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. But before the sentencing, Judge Douglas took up a motion to acquit that Correia had filed over the summer. He heard hours of arguments today, and ultimately the judge said prosecutors didn't provide evidence at trial that there were interstate wire communications in 6 of the wire fraud counts for which Correia was convicted. These counts were all related to checks that Correia cashed from investors in his defunct app Snow Owl, where prosecutors say he stole the money and spent it on himself. The judge also said he will toss out 2 counts of filing false tax returns. This hearing continues tomorrow, but as we stand here right now, 13 of the 21 criminal convictions against Correia remain in place. Now, he is still yet to be sentenced. He didn't make any comment when he left court here a short time ago. The sentencing is slated to take place tomorrow. The prosecution had asked for 11 years in prison. Correia countered with 3, but it's unclear if these acquittals today will have any effect on those arguments tomorrow. Live in Boston, I'm Steph MACHADO, 12 News.
First at 6, that breaking news in the case of former Fall River Mayor Jasiel Correia, who arrived at court this morning to be sentenced for his crimes.
Instead, the former mayor left court late this afternoon with the judge planning to toss several of Correia's convictions. Target 12 investigator STEPH MACHADO was at Boston Federal Court for today's surprising developments. She joins us now live with the breaking details. Steph?
The judge said he is reversing 8 of the 21 guilty verdicts that the jury handed down back in May. We are still expecting the judge to hand down some sort of prison sentence to former Mayor Correia tomorrow. Jasiel Correia declining to comment as he left Boston Federal Court today after a judge said he will acquit Correia on 6 wire fraud counts and 2 counts of filing false tax returns. 6 hours earlier, Correia had walked into the courthouse expecting to be sentenced in his corruption case. But Judge Douglas took up his motion to acquit first, the arguments lasting hours. The dispute in court centered around these checks, which Correia accepted from investors in his app called Snow Owl, but the prosecution says he spent the money on lavish vacations, adult entertainment, and a Mercedes. Federal wire fraud requires there to be interstate wire communications. The prosecutor said today the checks were cashed in Massachusetts but processed in Rhode Island. The judge's response: there's no such testimony here in the record from the trial. The second half of Correia's trial was about him extorting marijuana vendors for bribes in exchange for city hall approvals while he was mayor. Woodlock called that the core of the case, saying he won't overturn the convictions on, quote, the use of his position to obtain, extort money, and a system of bribery in the city of Fall River. The judge said the prosecutors can appeal his acquittals today because he was reversing a jury's verdict. The sentencing is still expected tomorrow on the remaining counts. Prosecutors had asked for 11 years in prison while Correia asked for 3. Live in Boston, I'm Steph MACHADO, 12 News.